no. Well, actually, what is there to say about Conker's Bad Fur Day? One of Rare's most well-known games before they died and had their corpse turned into a gruesome, hollow shell of its former self. The character design in this game was freaking nuts! Pun not intended, but I am not sorry for that. And said character design seeped into the various bosses. One in particular is the Haybot. After going into the barn and dealing with a slew of bats more annoying than Christian Bale, you'll find yourself face to face with the Scarecrow from the Wizard of Oz on steroids here. In this fight, you employ the aid of a pitchfork that you helped save from a suicide attempt, and you stab the Haybot in his non-existent ass, which somehow sets him on fire. Fuck it, it's Conker's. Due to the power of plot convenience, everyone falls into the sewer, and Conker ends up breaking his leg. Then, with the Haybot's true form finally revealed, the real fight begins, with intimidating music, dark lighting, and heat-seeking missiles with southern accents. Fuck it, it's Conker's! Why would you even like this boss fight? Why would anyone like this boss fight? Well, as I said before, it's just so freaking insane, just like the rest of the game. And everyone loves a good Schwarzenegger parody. There's just the right amount of challenge, and with everything sprinkled with funny snippets of dialogue, it's definitely memorable.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
Good one, Patrick.
SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom is an amazing platform. Great music, great gameplay, great graphics. Must I go on? Also, the bosses are really fun. So which one made it onto this list? You probably all expected this. SpongeBob Steel Pants is an amazing boss battle that does not disappoint at all. Let me explain. First, the actual boss battle. It has two stages. In its first stage, he's in SpongeBob's karate outfit. You have to dodge his attacks and use the cruise bubble to hit his weak points, and all the while you're trying not to fall off the platforms. If you fall off the platforms, Warbot Plankton tries to zap you with his laser. And this is where you get your health items. This part of the boss is really challenging, especially when he starts using his karate attack. But, as challenging as this is, the final stage of the boss battle makes this stage seem like New Super Mario Bros. 2 in difficulty. You have to go inside SpongeBob Steel Pants and attack him from inside. You have to defeat the robots to get to the core of each section. And then after you destroy the core, Robot Plankton comes out and tries to zap you with his laser again. This is extremely difficult. I can't tell you how many times I've died trying to defeat this boss. Then there's the music. I'm not going to even say anything about it. Just take a listen. And keep in mind, this is coming from a SpongeBob game. To sum it up, SpongeBob Steel Pants is an amazing boss battle, have an amazing gameplay, a lot of difficulty, and epic music. And for those aspects, it deserves to be on this list.
I'll give you a lasting memory.
Don't deny it. The moment that you saw the title of this video, you knew that there was going to be a Mega Man boss on this list. And why not? The bosses in the Mega Man series are great, whether it be the Robot Masters, Mavericks, or Net Navies. But the question is, which Mega Man boss will I be talking about? Well, I'm going to give you 3 hints. 1, it's from the Mega Man X series. 2, it's a fire-based Maverick. And 3... Burn to the ground! Burn to the ground! No, it's not Flame Hyanard. You know what? Just... Omega Snake, can you please help me introduce the actual candidate?
He betrayed the irregular hunters and hid himself inside a volcano. The traitor, Magma Dragoon.
There are a lot of reasons why I love this Maverick. First, his stage, which I consider one of the best stages in the game, up there with Cyber Peacocks and Jet Stingrays. Yes, I like that stage. Sue me. Magma Dragoon's stage is an active volcano, and while it's one of the hardest stages in the game, it's definitely one of the most entertaining. And then there's the music. It's my favorite song in X4, no questions asked. Then of course, there's the fight itself. Magma Dragoon is literally a giant Street Fighter reference in battle. He pulls off Hadoukens and Shoryukens and even refers to them by name when fighting. He also can perform fire kicks, can breathe fire that stretches across the entire arena, and can summon a fiery meteor shower. It's a challenging boss fight, but fun no less. And it's even more satisfying when you realize what Magma Dragoon has done. At the beginning of the game, you're sent to Sky Lagoon to investigate a Maverick attack just for Sky Lagoon to crash into the earth and end hundreds of lives. And who caused this incident to happen? Magma Dragoon, of course. When you defeat Magma Dragoon, you get either Rising Sun or Ryo Jin, depending on who you're playing as. Rising Fire, which is X's attack, is a fiery shot from his cannon, while Ryo Jin, for Zero, is a fiery uppercut slash that can burn through certain obstacles. In conclusion, Magma Dragoon stands as my favorite boss in the entire Mega Man series, let alone in the X series. With an amazing stage, song, boss fight, and weapon, Magma Dragoon is one Maverick you'll never forget.
Deus Ex Human Revolution is a game centered around robotics. A main conflict in the story is between those who want to upgrade and those who want to remain fully human. Your main character is a military-grade cyborg. Augmentations to your robotics are a key part of the gameplay. Even many of the side characters, enemies, and bosses are cyborgs. However, while we're talking about bosses, most of them aren't that great. They range from very repetitive to very cheap, and don't give you free range of your weaponry like the rest of the game. However, as you would expect, there is an exception, and what an exception it is. Meet Yelena Fedorova, better known as the Mantis. Right off the bat, Yelena looks very intimidating. She's undergone major augmentation of the legs, granting her a practically inhuman height. That, coupled with her extensive combat gear, athletic build, and emo face, makes for quite the first impression. As soon as the fight begins, it's clear that those legs aren't just for show. They give her an insane amount of speed and stealthiness, and she uses them to the fullest in this fight. Yelena is a passive fighter. She prefers to outmaneuver her opponent rather than rush in and try to get a headshot.
Sneak attack!
But if the going gets tough, she's not afraid to bust out her dual SMGs or activate her Typhoon explosion system and go to town on your vital organs. See, this is the reason why this boss shines above the rest in the game. She doesn't have just one tactic to fight you with, so thankfully neither do you. There isn't one surefire way to defeat her, so you can experiment a little and find which methods works best with the augmentations you've added. You could try tracking her while she's cloaked and shooting her from behind. You could try waiting for her to charge at you and hit her with a combat rifle. You can get on top of the lockers around the room and pelt her with grenades. You can try to trip her up by laying EMP mines on the arena. Or, my personal favorite, get the EMP shielding upgrade and then destroy the generators in the room, electrifying the coolant on the floor and shocking her to death. There are so many possibilities with this fight, and it really does take advantage of the great open-ended system of combat that the game implements. The Mantis may only be the second boss in the game, but she's definitely the best. Well, at least according to these losers. JK lol, please don't hurt me!
I never asked for this.
It's no use! Take this!
Spyro 2 is one of the best platformers to date, and has awesome boss battles, and one that is good enough to make this list. So, what is it, you ask? Well, it's the final boss battle with the Hive 1. So why is it good enough to be on this list? Well, let me explain. It has 10 phases to start off with that I need to go through, so let's begin. Phase 1 starts with you avoiding layers until Grunty pops out and turns this into the weakest link. But now you have to answer a question. You get it right, she goes easy on you. Get it wrong, she goes hard on you. Basically what happens is she either fires faster or slower spells. Now until those firing spells, this is your time. You head into Brio Blaster mode, fire exit her until she reaches 90 HP, then phase 2 will start. Now in phase 2, Gruntilda turns on all 4 lasers. Not much difficult, you just have to jump twice as much. Just do this until she asks another question. How surprising! After that, keep attacking her with eggs like last time and take 10 more HP off her and move on to the next phase. Now,
Tactical nuke!
Incoming!
Essentially now, Gruntilda bombs you with, well, bombs. Actually, you dodge this until obviously she pops out yet again. But at this point, the fight does get a bit harder, to be honest, but not too hard. So just get her down to 70 HP and then move on to phase 4. Now she brings out dual motors again, and you just have to avoid them until she pops out and asks another question. Something's been telling me she's been watching a bit too much of The Weakest Link lately, but moving on. You take 10 more HP off her and then you move on to the next round yet again. Now this is where the boss battle gets interesting. For whatever reason, she gets lasers back out, and just avoid them for a bit. Eventually the hag one will open through the back, and you have to shoot a clockwork kazooie into it, avoid some lasers and enemies inside, and then blow up one of the batteries. Now move on to the next stage, in which the hag one becomes a lot faster, and now can change its direction more suddenly. Now just destroy the other battery. Gruntilda will pop out the top and ask another question. Honestly, you really need to lay off the quiz shows, but just answer it and then take 10 more HP off her with the eggs again, and then you'll be moving on to the next phase. Now on the next phase, the hag one will shut down. Gruntilda gets her minions out, just avoid her attack and take 15 HP off her and move on to the next stage. Now it gets real, as Gruntilda activates Toxic, limiting the amount of time you have. The boss battle will get a lot harder since obviously you have a lot less time. Now you just have to shoot her and lower her HP before you lose all your air and suffocate. But you have to avoid her magic and her minions while doing so. Now just keep blasting her with eggs until you get her down to 1 HP, and then you'll move on to the final phase. Now Gruntilda stops the gas and all her minions drop dead, presumably from the gas. Now she'll start casting spells, but all you have to do is shoot her once and she drops the spell. Yep, so this boss battle is overall fun, but it's not too hard. For the most part it's enjoyable, like a boss battle should be. And the music is amazing, I mean, just listen. Now, Rare, guess what? You better get working on Banjo 3, or...
I'm gonna punch you in the face. Obsidia's Paragon.
Crash to Insanity is my favorite game on the Crash Bandicoot series, and there are two main reasons of why I love it so much. First of all, the boss battles. They are fun, challenging, and really epic. The other reason I love this game so much is the story, which is actually more interesting and original than the other Crash games. Spoiler alert, by the way. During the plot of this game, Crash and Cortex meet the Evil Twins, a pair of parrots from another dimension who claim they are going to destroy the world. The Bandicoot and the scientist team up along with Nina Cortex and enjoy a wonderful adventure. At the end, the three playable characters travel to the 10th dimension, where it's revealed that the Evil Twins used to be a pair of normal parrots owned by Cortex. He used them as test subjects for the first prototype of the Evolve Array. Of course, the test failed and he thought the birds died, but they were transported to another dimension and the radiation over there made them evolve. Now the Doctor finally faces their creation and orders them to get back in their cage. The Evil Twins obey, but not because they are still loyal to him, no, they get back in there because their cage is actually a deadly machine of doom. And thus, one of the best final battles in video game history begins. First of all, let's analyze the robot in detail. It has a pretty badass design, he kinda looks like the Evil Twins themselves, and it has a huge arsenal of weapons. A flamethrower, a machine gun, a laser gun, a force shield, a lightsaber, and even a toaster! Well, not really, but wouldn't that be awesome? And let's not forget, it's really a birdcage, making it an overall deadly force of a machine I would love to own myself, even if I don't have any pet birds. Then we have the battle itself. During the first phase, Nina will have to use her mechanical arms to reach some energy sources on the top of these towers. This first part is easy, but climbing with Nina is so much fun. Then we have the second phase, in which we use the Doctor to destroy the machine gun and laser with his own weapon. Okay, maybe Cortex is a little bit clunky to use, but this is definitely the most challenging phase. And finally, we have the best one. Crash Bandicoot uses the Mecha Bandicoot to destroy the Evil Twins robot. Let me clarify that for you. You are using the first boss of the game to beat the final one, and they are both robot bosses. Well, to be honest, using the Mecha Bandicoot was a little bit disappointing. I mean, why couldn't we use that badass chainsaw? But that doesn't mean it's not epic as hell, and it feels very good to control this machine. You will have to use your missiles and lasers to destroy the robot and avoid his attacks. Finally, your machine destroys the Evil Twins and this amazing game ends. Overall, the Evil Twins is one of my favorite boss battles in video game history. It's the perfect conclusion to a great storyline. It makes you use the playable characters you had to master during the adventure. It's challenging, it's fun, and it's epic as hell. It's one of my favorite bosses ever, and I promise this is the last time I talk about it. Oh, and let's not forget that epic music made only with human voices.
Now, if you couldn't tell from my extremely long Pikmin entry in class, I absolutely adore Pikmin 2. Now, I ain't wasting any time with this entry. I don't think I need to say anything for anyone to know what boss I'm doing. The Man-at-Legs is, in a nutshell, a roboticized BD Longlegs. However, it has a few adjustments, just like a robot would. First off, it moves incredibly faster than its two arachnoid brothers, and secondly, it has a gun with a red dot scope laser. This thing fires at rapid speeds and is insta-kill to any Pikmin, forcing you to hide behind walls until this guy has to cool down. Then you can wail away with all your purples. It couldn't be any simpler than avoid, gun, attack, hide, rinse, repeat. Though it's actually somewhat fast paced if you think about it, due to having to act fast, otherwise A, he'll recover from his cooldown, or B, you'll end up surrounded by a ton of purple ghosts. Not to mention, the equipment he gives you when you kill him is one of the best. No more darkness! It's glorious! I tell you, it's glorious.